So tonight we have a very, very interesting topic, a topic that affects everybody. It's something that people often wonder how their own situation is going, how are they going to be when they go older? Some people say, well, if you want to know how your wife will be, go and take a look at the mother. So be that as it may, so today we're going to talk about aging, rapid aging, prevention, management, and more. Now, the process of aging has to be discussed. We can't talk about aging without DNA. Oh, before I forget, my name is Lucky. Now, we have to define what aging and rapid aging is. We have to talk about the signs and symptoms of rapid aging. How do you know whether you are aging rapidly? Causes and risk factors of rapid aging, complications of rapid aging, and more. Now, what's the process of aging? As people get older, factors come into play and lead to accumulation of unnecessary or unneeded materials, depletion of needed materials, and production of faulty materials in the body as a result of damage of DNA by factors like reactive oxidative species or free radicals. Okay. Now, this is just a little depiction of what it seems like when people age. You can see a baby growing to be a toddler, then teenager, adults, you know, and so on and so forth. Yes. Now, what definition by definition, as we initially said, aging has to do with processes that involve deposition of unwanted materials in the body, depletion of unwanted materials, depletion of wanted materials, as well as damage to DNA, which is very, very important very important in our bodies. Just a moment, please. I'm trying to, yes, I've got it. So now, you can see there's a picture here showing a young lady, a woman that has reversed her age successfully as a result of, you see, it's just simple and short. Anything you can do that halts, reverses, and or corrects the damage by these aging factors will help us get older without rapidly aging biologically. So DNA has actually been found out to be, DNA damage has found out to be one of the major reasons why people get older. And this DNA damage affects virtually everything in the system, because the DNA is what I call the chief executive managing director and head of board members in charge of everything about you. So damage to DNA is actually the origin of aging. Now, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid found in the nucleus of the cell, and it is nature's major information control center. In fact, DNA is what makes you, and actually leads to the traits that we find in children. So if someone is having challenges as a result of certain factors, you can hear people say that there's what they call genetic predisposition. This DNA is what governs all these things. So a damage to DNA as a result of attack by free radicals actually leads, that's the origin of what we call aging. So protecting your DNA from attack is actually one of the key factors that are necessary to actually prevent, reverse, or manage aging, as I'm going to show you shortly. Here's a picture of the cell with the nucleus and the chromosome and the DNA, which is nature's major information store. And Chief Managing Director executive managing director, and head of board members in charge of everything about you. So now, definition of rapid aging. Aging is simply the process of getting older. Aging is simply the process of getting older. Just a moment. And it's an accumulation of all the changes that happen in humans over time, including physical, psychological, and social changes. Now, rapid aging is the process of aging faster than normal. And it's often as a result of what? DNA damage, often by free radicals or what you call reactive oxidative species. Subsequently, I'm going to give you an idea of that. Now, let's take the skin as a case study. Now, a typical example of illustration of this happens in the skin. Collagen and elastin hold our skin together. That means anything that affects the structural integrity of collagen and elastin, amongst others, on the skin will lead to what? Wrinkling. Now, DNA in the cells called fibroblasts produce this collagen. So what happens when the DNA is damaged? It means that faulty collagen fibers are begin to be produced, and they will begin to have wrinkles on our faces. And it seems as if we're getting older. This same process applies to every other part of the body that is affected by aging. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of rapid aging? Wrinkled skin, as earlier depicted, altered hormones, weaker bones, joints, and teeth. For example, degenerative bone disease, osteoarthritis, poorer vision, infertility, because faulty sperm and ovum may be produced because the initial stage of production of sperm and ovum has a lot to do with DNA, and it's called the meiosis. And now, graying of hair, poorer hearing, poorer memory, sexual dysfunction, more cardiovascular issues, more cerebrovascular issues, poorer body coordination and physical strength, loss of muscle mass and function, etc. Now, what are the factors that cause rapid aging? Generally, DNA damage leads to aging, often as a result of production of faulty proteins by faulty DNA. But there are certain factors that can also lead to rapid aging, and number one, after DNA damage, is what? Obesity. People that have higher body mass index tend to age faster than others. Then people that have certain kind of diseases like diabetes tend to age faster than others as a result of the excess glucose in the system that leads to production of reactive oxidative species. Yes, and smoking definitely triggers the aging gene directly and actually makes people get older. Alcoholism, stress, because the stress hormone called cortisol can actually trigger aging faster. Unhealthy diets. Bear in mind that sugars bind to collagen and make collagen what? Brittle. And brittle collagen means faster wrinkling of what? Of the face and skin. Radiation exposure to sunlight. Now, UV rays, as they strike the DNA on the skin, the fibroblasts are affected. Those are the cells that produce collagen. And because of the faulty DNA, lead to faulty production of collagen and make people look older. That's why people that walk under the sun more often than others seem to have more wrinkled skin faster than others. Interestingly, lack of sleep actually leads to faster aging, as well as loneliness and unhappiness. Now, what are the complications of aging? Poorer quality of life, poorer physical appearance based on wrinkled skin as earlier depicted, immobility, because someone that has osteoarthritis as a result of rapid degeneration of the joints could actually find himself having locked joints, and that could make the person immobile. Early death, people that age faster die earlier. Now, infertility, as earlier mentioned, because damaged DNA leads to production of damaged egg and sperm cells, which lead to infertility. There's increased risk of disease and ailments. Type 2 diabetes is one of them. Actually, poverty is actually one of the complications of aging, because people become unable to go and fend for work and earn a living to fend for themselves. Marital issues as a result of sexual dysfunction. Yes, that's also part of it. Depression, as well as cancer. Cancer itself already means faulty DNA leading to unusual replication of cells. So imagine now making the DNA faulty. That means one has actually successfully tried to exacerbate cancer. Now, these are a few challenges that lead to a rapid aging. Some people have bad habits. They don't want to quit smoking. Illiteracy. Some people are like, what thing they happen? Somebody that is all dying or die. Person when old, didn't go die, no problem. But actually, that's not a good approach to life. Stubbornness. People tell them about, my brother, this cigar where they smoke, it's not good for your health. No, my father smoked, he was 2,000 years old, so he must smoke, and all that. Poor health information system, cultural factors. Like some people believe in taking certain kinds of substances. Some people actually smoke opium culturally, and some people actually eat carbohydrates and unhealthy food. That's their staple cultural diet, as well as economic issues. Some people find it difficult to cope with certain things that will help. Now, out of about 150,000 people that die each day on Earth, about 100,000 people die from age-related causes. That's actually quite interesting. So how do we prevent or manage rapid aging? Definitely one has to stop smoking, stop alcoholism. Exercise actually prolongs life, so one has to begin to exercise. And weight management, have adequate rest, stay happy. When you're happy, your body produces endorphins, and these endorphins help you prolong your life. Dieting, consume less animal protein and what is called a Mediterranean diet. I'm going to show you what the Mediterranean diet looks like shortly, as well as also avoid fried foods, because when you fry foods, you heat the oil so high that the oil turns from a cis fat to a trans fat. Our bodies cannot metabolize trans fat. So when you fry oil above 350 to 375 degrees, maybe you're frying turkey or something, you are converting that oil to a kind of fat that our body cannot handle. And this leads to deposition of these substances all over the body and can also exacerbate aging. Refined carbohydrates and sugars, as earlier mentioned, that bind to collagen fibers, make them brittle and make people have wrinkled skin faster than normal. Now, use of orthodox medication to alleviate secondary ailments like diabetes. Diabetes is such a terrible disease. For one, I think diabetes should be called the king of diseases, because it's the disease of diseases. Because aging is one of the problems associated with diabetes because of the high glucose content that leads to excess production of free radicals that attack DNA and further worsen the diabetes. So I pray nobody has diabetes. And then use of supplements to prevent, manage, and reverse rapid aging. So this is an example of what we call a Mediterranean diet. If you look at this table here, you see how brightly colored the fruits are. So you have a lot of carotene and a lot of phytochemicals that are very, very essential in the body. That's olive oil over there. Of course, it's not heated above 375 degrees and has not been converted to trans fats, which is dangerous. And amongst like wine, with a little wine there, the French paradox, which has a protective cardiovascular function. And this is known to prolong life in people. Now, how do supplements help us with regards to aging? Supplements help us in regards to prevention and management of aging. Now, they help attack and mop up free radicals that damage DNA. Now, remember, DNA damage is the origin of aging. They prevent and manage chronic ailments like diabetes. They help to prevent and manage chronic ailments like diabetes, arthritis, hypertension that cause rapid aging and are caused by rapid aging. So you see, some of them actually cause rapid aging, and rapid aging cause them. So we don't want to find ourselves in such a loop. They help in weight reduction. They rejuvenate weakened or damaged body organs or tissues that are getting damaged as a result of damaged DNA producing the faulty proteins and structural integrity of organs and all that. They help to rejuvenate that. They help to improve sleep, because it's also found that people that sleep less age faster. They replace nutrients and essential molecules that deplete as people age. A typical example is that of people that have osteoarthritis, where the joint is already degenerating, and collagen chondrocytes that should actually lead to the production of cartilage that pad and help the joints to go smoother without allowing the bones touch together, are already having problem and already giving way. These supplements help to rejuvenate that. They help to reverse and manage sexual dysfunction, because aging also affects hormones, and hormone depletion can also lead to loss or reduce male and female sexual prowess and characteristics. Now, they help improve sleep, yes, as earlier mentioned, and they reverse wrinkling and aging of skin, making people appear younger as they age. An example of these supplements includes Royal Jelly. Now, Royal Jelly is also known as the fountain of youth, because you see, it contains what is called acetylcholine. One of the challenges of aging is when the mind begins to lose its function. The brain begins to lose its function as a result of aging. Now, acetylcholine is just like the communicator in the brain. It's a neurotransmitter and helps the brain cells to communicate with each other and help people that are aging not to lose their memories, and also make them have more rapid response times to situations. And then it also helps to rejuvenate cells that are actually being damaged as a result of the aging processes. In fact, it's called the fountain of youth. Bear in mind that Royal Jelly is what is given to the queen bee by the queen workers that makes her live up to 6 years, while the workers barely, I don't think they even live more than 5 weeks, or is it 5 days or something. So you can see that there must definitely be some things that are in Royal Jelly that help people to rejuvenate and also counter this aging process. Now, as a bonus, it helps against cell structural collapse. Hence, it helps against breast flaccidity. So that means some ladies may be interested in this because they may want to have more appealing bosoms. Now, aloe gel, also known as the wonder, aloe is also known as the wonder plant with an inexhaustible list of benefits to the human body. Now, has been used for thousands of years, but with regards to this matter, because if we start talking about this, we may not live here today. With regards to this matter, you can see it's a very powerful antioxidant, as earlier mentioned. Antioxidants damage DNA, and that's the origin of aging. So this helps to reverse that. But not only that, it goes further to reverse things back to the way they were. It helps to reverse things back to the way. That means those damages that have taken place as a result of aging, probably as a result of wear and tear and all that, they end up being reversed back to the way they were. Okay. So now we're talking about Arctic Sea. Remember, I showed you something about the Mediterranean diet. Now, in Mediterranean diet, Arctic Sea is basically something that is going to help like a Mediterranean diet. Firstly, it contains thromboxane A3, which reverses the negative effect of thromboxane A2. This is very essential because people that age are often prone to strokes as a result of cholesterol deposition in the blood vessels. And it also contains docosahexaenoic acid and eicosapentaenoic acid, which is very important for proper brain function and rejuvenation, hence helping to reverse issues like brain loss, memory loss as a result of aging. Now, there's a very unique product called Infinix Firming Complex. This contains collagen amongst others, which is very important because one of the major things that people use to measure someone that is old is what? A wrinkled skin. So once people begin to appear younger, some people are actually like 70 or 70 something. But if you look at their skin and you just judge by their skin, you may think they're in their 40s because their skin is their fibroblasts in the skin are producing very wonderful collagen that is holding their skin together. Now, this Firming Complex will help you to have enough collagen. And apart from that, it also contains free radicals that actually protect the DNA from damage and make the DNA produce even more wonderful collagen that helps the skin to stay firm and smooth. Now, as a bonus, it contains some phytoceramides that work with others to help boost skin health and firmness from the inside. How wonderful is this? Now, vitalize men and vitalize women. Bear in mind that aging can also lead to a problem in men called benign prostatic hyperplasia. Well, it's actually natural for men's prostates to enlarge as they get older, but we won't want that to happen faster than normal because that will mean that a man in his 40s will begin to have issue with urination as well as maybe accumulation of kidney stones and other kidney issues as a result of increase in concentration or as a result of increased poor urinal flow of function, poor urine output. So you see, now when you take, there's something called lycopene in vitalized men. It's a very powerful antioxidant, and this also helps to mitigate this unusual rapid enlargement of the prostate that can affect flow of urine that happens often in men. As a bonus, it also helps in male sexual it also helps in male sexual function and also helps to guard against sexual dysfunction, which is one of the main reasons why some people actually file for divorce because they're not getting what they thought that they'll be getting at the initial point of marriage from their spouse. Now, Vitalize Women contains a very wonderful blend of phytochemicals that helps against hormonal imbalance. Women have this challenge of, in fact, a woman sometimes can be a tsunami of hormonal issues because women are so wonderfully made that their system is more complex than that of men. They have so many hormones that run so many things. And you notice as a woman is getting to 45, 50, talking about menopause, one hormone is depleting, another one is increasing, another one is going one place or the other. Now, we don't need a disarray of these hormones. And that's one of the things that lead to what is called hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalance also has a problem with making women have what is called sexual dysfunction because the female sex hormone gets depleted at a point in their lives. Now, Vitalize Women also contains other substances like vitamin C, antioxidants that also help to protect from free radicals, amongst others. And a combination of all these things that contain in Vitalize Women holistically help to address even female sexual dysfunction. Bear in mind that you are what you consume, and there's a constant battle between factors that repair and protect our bodies and those that break it down. It's always advisable to be on the winning side. Thank you and remain blessed.